KFI News on the hour, on the half, and when it breaks.
Helicopter crash and vaccine milestones. I'm Johnny D'Agostini from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. One crew member aboard a Navy helicopter that crashed into the Pacific off San Diego has been rescued. The Navy confirmed late Tuesday night that search efforts continue for the rest of the crew. The chopper attached to the USS Abraham Lincoln went down about 60 miles off the shore while conducting routine flight operations. Governor Newsom is announcing a major milestone in coronavirus vaccinations.
80% of all eligible Californians 12 and older have received at least one dose.
Newsom adds weekly vaccination numbers are skyrocketing.
The state of California now over the last 2 weeks has seen an average over 600,000 doses of vaccine administered.
He says efforts to provide more mobile vaccination sites will continue, as well as reaching minorities and rural residents. Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher Trevor Bauer could be facing a long-term absence from the sport. ESPN reports Bauer could be facing discipline from the MLB, regardless if he's charged with a crime by the LA County District Attorney's Office. Bauer is facing allegations that he sexually assaulted a California woman and was under a 3-month investigation by the Pasadena Police Department. Under the league's joint domestic violence, sexual assault, and child abuse policy, Bauer could be facing a suspension of at least 1 to 2 years. Bauer was placed on administrative leave on July 2nd and could remain away from the Dodgers for the remainder of the season. Gene Simmons is the latest member of KISS to test positive for COVID-19, joining bandmate Paul Stanley. The band is postponing its next 4 tour dates, expected to return to the road late next week in Southern California. Southland weather from KFI, some clouds today, low 70s at the beaches, mid to high 70s in Metro LA, mid 80s in the Valley, and also mid 80s in the Inland Empire. It's 67 degrees in Anaheim, 81 in Palm Springs, 63 degrees in Simi Valley. Really local from the KFI 24-hour newsroom, I'm Johnny D'Agostini.
Pomona, there is a work zone. This is on the 10 westbound from the 57 to Holt. Caltrans has the right lane shut down for road work until 5. Van Nuys, this is on the 405 southbound at Victory. Police activity blocking the off-ramp right there. Your traffic bunching up as you approach. North Hollywood, we have a work zone, 170 northbound from Burbank Boulevard to Sherman Way. Right lane's going to be shut down for road work until 6. Expect slowing throughout that stretch. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Brian Vance.
Hey, it's Conway here. Are you thinking about refinancing, or if you've already refined your mortgage in 2020, it's more than worthwhile to contact HMS Capital. HMS Capital's Mark Tice has one recommendation. You apply with HMS Capital, right? And then you apply with another lender. HMS Capital is the only lender that I know of that encourages homeowners to apply with multiple lenders. So I've known Mark for a long time through Bill Handel, and it's totally true. There are no appraisals and no application fees of any kind. So go ahead and take the HMS Capital Challenge. Apply with HMS Capital and then apply with some other lender. Rates are the lowest they've ever been at HMS Capital. 833-255-5698. 833-255-5698 or hmscapital.com.
HMS Capital Funding is a DBA of Golden Empire Inc. Payment ID number 2427. HMS Capital is licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act. License number 4130360. Equal housing lender.
Hey, it's Dean Sharp. Ever since Duffy Power Services became a sponsor here at KFI, I've been getting a lot of questions about how backup generators actually work. So here goes. Once Duffy evaluates your home, they hook you up with the perfect generator to meet all of your needs. Then, when the next outage occurs, while everyone around you loses power, your generator automatically takes over and life continues uninterrupted. When the power comes back on, the generator turns itself off. It's just that easy. What's also easy is 0% interest financing and payments as low as $72 a month, which makes your emergency power totally affordable. Now, as you know, the pandemic has everything in short supply, so don't wait. Call today and Duffy will make sure your life, your comfort, and your safety won't be interrupted during the next outage or any of the ones after that. Dial pound 250 on your cell and say Duffy Power. Pound 250 Duffy Power, or find them on the web at duffypower.com. That's DUTHIE power.com.
KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk. You're listening to Coast AM with George Norrie.
We're going to take your calls with Paul DeBoli next hour as we talk about the case of Sirhan, his parole case as well, so jump on board. Beyond Belief, that is our television show, and you can sign up at beyondbelief.com and watch it on your big screen, watch it on your smartphone, and really enjoy it. But if you just want to sample a few little shows, what do we have, Tom?
Well, we got you covered there, too. Head over to beyondbelief.com. We have 3 free episodes. Not 1, but 3 for you to watch absolutely free. And you can, we post shows all the time there, so make sure and check it out. And you can sign up for that free 7-day trial. That'll get you access to over 400 episodes that we've done of Beyond Belief. So check it out. It's good stuff. Beyondbelief.com.
More and more people are turning to this to build up their immune system.
HealthyLooking.com and Dr. Alan Millay bring 4 decades of experience in natural products for the exclusive stem cell wellness kit that works with your body's stem cells to assist your immune system. Here's Dr. Millay with more.
Whether it's physical activity, obesity, diet, smoking, low on hormones, stress, sleep disorders, or your age can be supported by reducing inflammation and aiding the body to heal itself appropriately. A stem cell is a cell waiting to be told what it needs to be. If there is inflammation, that inflammation needs to be stopped. High blood pressure, high cholesterol, kidney disease, various types of cancer, depression, Alzheimer's disease, autoimmune disorders, osteoporosis, even fatty liver are chronic signs of inflammation and can be aided by supporting the body's ability to protect those cells that it needs. And that is the purpose of ImmuStem and AdaptoStem together, supporting the body to be the best it can be.
Dr. Millay, how will I feel after taking AdaptoStem and ImmuStem?
The ImmuStem is going to have an immediate effect, but I guarantee you that your immune system is starting to function better after 24 hours. You put AdaptoStem along with it, you will feel it in 30 minutes.
Order now at HealthyLooking.com. The Stem Cell Wellness Kit from Dr. Millay protects your body's stem cells and will make you feel better faster. The Stem Cell Wellness Kit with AdaptoStem and ImmuStem and your free gift Relaxol is only available at HealthyLooking.com or toll free at 800-563-3980. That's 800-563-3980. Don't forget to enter promo code GEORGE for free shipping. George's Stem Cell Wellness Kit at HealthyLooking.com. That's HealthyLooking.com.
If you haven't tried Super Beets Heart Chews, you're missing out. Super Beets Heart Chews are a delicious snack that you can take on the go and support your heart health. Super Beets Chews combine non-GMO beets with a powerful new ingredient, grapeseed extract. The grapeseed extract used in Super Beets Chews has been clinically shown to be 2 times as effective at supporting normal blood pressure as a healthy lifestyle alone. Better blood pressure means more energy the way nature intended without the jittery caffeine or stimulants. And now you can take just 2 delicious chews a day, anytime, anywhere, to get the blood pressure support you need and the energy you want. Do what I did and support your heart health with delicious Super Beets Chews. Get your Super Beets Chews today at NoriBeets.com. And when you buy 2 bags, they'll throw in the 3rd for free. That's NoriBeets.com to get a free bag of Super Beets Heart Chews when you purchase 2. NoriBeets.com. That's NoriBeets.com.
What if I tell you you can get your hands on some gold from one of the, if not the, most important shipwrecks in our history? It serves as a snapshot of America's most historic era, the California Gold Rush. It's the biggest contributor to the Panic of 1857. And no, it's not the Titanic. It's SS Central America, known as the Ship of Gold. It sank in 1857, where it stayed for more than 160 years. Now you can own coins recovered from it. Each coin has a unique recovery number and comes in a quality display box with a certificate of authenticity. Getting these incomparable pieces of history into your hands from the deep took years of courtroom battles about ownership. What are you waiting for? These coins aren't just a piece of investment, it's a piece of our history. And with free, speedy shipping, you need to call Noble Gold right now at 877-646-5347. That's 877-646-5347. Because they'll go quicker than a Jeff Bezos space flight.
And welcome back to Coast. George Norrie with you. Paul DeBoli is with us. We are talking about the case of Sirhan. And Paul, the two things I want to talk with you about to get your views on, then we'll get deeper into this. One is, so you think it's entirely possible, if there was a second gunman there, he was there unbeknownst to Sirhan. How bizarre, huh?
It is, and I did want to just bring up one additional point that buttresses the second gunman argument. When they examined Senator Kennedy's clothing, they found that some of the material in his suit jacket, there were gunpowder residue burns on the jacket, and that's usually something that happens when the gun is discharged within 2 to 3 inches of the clothing.
Right.
It comes out very hot. It burns some of the fibers in the cloth. Yet, by all witness accounts, when Sirhan was firing, he was never closer than 2 to 3 feet from Senator Kennedy.
Strange. That is strange.
So there's that huge discrepancy that just can't be explained away. The second gunman.
Explain to us now the procedure for the parole. He's not paroled yet.
No. This was just a hearing to determine his suitability for parole.
Oh, and it was like a small group of people, right?
Yeah, there were only 12 people present. There were the 2 commissioners from the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation. There was Sirhan, his attorney, a young lady.
Audrey, right?
Her name was Berry.
I thought her name was Audrey Berry.
It wasn't Audrey. It was Angela. I'm sorry.
Angela. Okay.
Yep. Angela Berry. Paul Schrady, and he had 3 people with him. There was Douglas Kennedy, who was Senator Kennedy's son. There was Robert Kennedy III, who was Senator Kennedy's grandson, and Robert Kennedy Jr. Had trouble logging in. They used Microsoft Teams for the hearing.
Okay.
Very small bandwidth, and I think it was designed so that there weren't a lot of people.
They should have used Zoom. It would have worked.
Probably, but I think there were some security issues with Zoom, with it, et cetera. So, because of the limited bandwidth, there were only 12 people present. I had asked, probably about 5 weeks ago, once I found out that he was coming up for parole again, if I could attend the hearing remotely. They really weren't sure. They had to go to legal counsel in the department to see if that was allowable, because who can attend is specified by statute. But because this is related to my area of academic research, they determined that I was a suitable candidate for it.
Okay.
And that's how I ended up, being
So now a full parole board looks at this, right? They've got 3 to 4 months to make a decision.
Yeah, they have 120 days to make a decision, as I understand it.
And then it goes to the governor, who's embattled already himself, right?
Well, he may not be governor at the time.
Exactly.
It happens too. So, and that's going to be a real wild card. So he's not out of jail yet. But the other rub is that there's an INS detainer for him as well that was issued, I think, either in 2013 or 2016. I'm not sure of the year. So even if he is released, there is the possibility that he could be deported pretty quickly.
He's supposed to live with his brother Munir in Los Angeles, isn't he?
Yes, and that's the plan. His brother's blind, and he's going to need some help, being cared for, and that's how Sirhan wants to spend, the rest of his life. Very tragic that there were 4 siblings that I'm aware of. His older brother, was hit by a truck just before they left the Middle East. The sister and a younger sister died of leukemia, after they arrived here and before the assassination. So, I mean, his life story is pretty tragic too. Even setting aside the assassination. So
I've just never heard of a convicted murderer like this.
Yeah.
Up for parole. I've just never heard of this before.
Yeah. Well, political assassination is not something that generally happens in this country. I mean, we've seen, the assassination of John Lennon with Mark David Chapman, Arthur Bremer, who shot
George Wallace.
George Wallace was eventually paroled. So, that does happen.
Well, but he didn't kill George Wallace.
No, I mean, he shot him and paralyzed him. But again, we don't know at this point. I mean, there's a court determined that was the case, but, we don't know whether that actually happened. Whether a shot fired by Sirhan Sirhan actually struck Bobby Kennedy, and that's the thing that I find compelling about this case, because again, there's a difference between being convicted of attempted murder.
We talked to Robert Kennedy Jr. yesterday. He didn't want to come on. He's been on the show before, but he didn't want to come on. And I think there's a internal family battle over this.
Oh, and and families, even the most united families, can have disagreements, and those disagreements can be very, very passionate. But the issue that was brought before the parole board was whether Sirhan Sirhan is a suitable candidate for parole, and we see in the records that he's been examined by prison psychiatrists, prison psychologists, and they've been certifying for almost a decade now that Sirhan Sirhan poses a low risk of recidivism, which means he's not a danger to himself, he's not a danger to society, and yet he's still been in jail for a variety of reasons. So.
Now, you were mentioning Paul Schrade. Tell us about him. And he's still alive, right?
He's still alive. I spoke with him about a month ago. He sounds like he's doing really well.
But he doesn't think Sirhan was the one who shot Kennedy.
No, he doesn't. And I mean, he's really become, kind of a crusader, in this, in trying to see if Sirhan can get a new trial. Because I don't think a new trial, I don't think that a prosecution, a re-prosecution of this case would be successful. But he's done a lot of research. He's had some experts analyze the ballistics test, etc. And he's been championing a new trial for Sirhan Sirhan, and it was great that he showed up at the parole hearing to testify again. I think I know it was the last couple. But what was amazing is that one of the conditions that they were talking about placing on Sirhan is that he be enrolled in some type of substance abuse program, whether it's AA or some other program that the Bureau uses. And there was actually a gentleman who was with Paul Schrade, Grobert, I believe was his name, who basically said that he would be pleased to be, he was 33 years sober, and he would be pleased to be Sirhan's, AA sponsor. I mean, it was a key. This hearing was very emotionally charged, and I have to tell you, I found myself, moved to tears.
Really?
On a couple of occasions, yeah. It was truly amazing just hearing the raw emotion in Sirhan's voice.
Did you feel sorry for him?
I did, and that's how to tell. I'm a long older guy, but I think, I felt sorry for him. My heart broke for, the members of the Kennedy family too. I mean, Douglas Kennedy basically said he had love in his heart for Sirhan, and I don't know if I would, if someone was accused of killing my dad, I don't know if I would be able to make that.
I couldn't.
That leap, I couldn't. But I mean, maybe it's just an objective examination of the evidence that led him to that. But it was, I mean, I saw from almost all parties present, I saw compassion, I saw reasonableness, I saw a system that was working the way it was supposed to. And, putting aside whether the system should have worked, at hearing 15 or hearing 14, etc., it was truly an amazing event.
Paul, give me a yes or no for a couple of these questions.
Sure.
Was Sirhan Sirhan at the Ambassador Hotel when Robert Kennedy was shot?
Yes.
Was he there with a gun?
Yes.
Did his gun discharge?
Yes.
So, I mean, clearly he was there with the intent to shoot Robert F. Kennedy.
Mm-hmm. But did he?
Well, that's the question. I mean, and let's get back to the bizarre part of it. How bizarre would it be that you had two would-be assassins and neither one of them knew the other one was there?
Well, because I don't think the second gunman was a would-be assassin. I think the second gunman was somebody who had several accidental discharges of his weapon.
The second gunman being who now? The unknown person?
There was a theory that it could have been the security guard that was hired by the hotel.
And that discharged gun may have killed Kennedy?
Yes.
How strange.
Well, it could have been somebody else in the entourage who was armed who possibly shouldn't have been.
By mistake.
By mistake.
He just went shooting because somebody else was. Sirhan was.
Yep.
And
or he drew his weapon to protect the principal, Senator Kennedy.
Wouldn't a ballistic test have shown that?
The ballistic tests were botched.
Wow.
Most of that evidence was destroyed. Some of it was destroyed prior to the, prior to Sirhan's trial, and they never recovered the bullet that pierced Senator Kennedy's head.
Does Sirhan think he killed Kennedy?
He says he doesn't know. I'm just sitting here as a Monday morning quarterback saying that he didn't.
Did anybody ask him at the hearing if there might have been another gunman?
No.
That did not come up.
No, because, the purpose of the hearing was to determine suitability for parole, not to relitigate the case.
Right.
And they were pretty clear about that, too. And I have to tell you, the two commissioners that were present, Barton was one gentleman, and Teresa Megan was the second one. They were impressive. They had an encyclopedic knowledge of the entire history of Sirhan from birth right up until that moment. They were well-versed in all the evidence. They were well-versed in corrections theory and practice. And they asked some really tough questions involved. As a matter of fact, one of the considerations would be, and this is a fascinating backstory, and I'd love to know the facts to it. Commissioner Barton was concerned that certain forces in the Middle East might try to make Sirhan, a hero of jihad, for this act against the United States.
Good point.
Back in 1968. And he basically assured him that he was not out to become a hero or a spokesman for violence of any type. And if peace is going to be, ever achieved in the Middle East, it's going to entail the Palestinians and the Israelis to be reasonable and to work together towards peace. Violence isn't going to do it. But one of the stories was that, several years ago, there was a movement in the Middle East to elevate Sirhan to that hero status. And somebody made the remark, and I just don't see it in my notes, that Sirhan's mother put a stop to that. And I'm really interested in the backstory.
That is interesting. Years ago, I knew a friend of Sirhan's who supported him. His name was M.T. Mufti. He's dead now. It was in New York. He had an office, and he was just trying to elevate the Palestinian cause. But he jumped on board the Sirhan case, and those two became very close friends. And he was convinced Sirhan was innocent.
Oh, innocent of first-degree murder?
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Absolutely. Well, after the break, we're going to take calls with you, and I want to talk with you about the JFK assassination and get your thoughts on this. But as you look at all of this, in your heart, do you think Sirhan is guilty of killing Robert F. Kennedy?
I do not.
Well, that's a big story. That is, and do you think he should be paroled at this point?
I do.
Okay.
I do, and that's based on the California board's criteria. Is he going to go out and commit a crime again? Is he going to pause? Be the source of an unreasonable danger to himself or to society. And what I see is a 24-year-old boy who's been in jail for 53 years for a crime that he may not have committed,
but was convicted of.
Convicted, but he may not. But there are wrongful convictions all the time, right?
True. Absolutely. But is it highly unusual to parole a first-degree killer?
I don't know. I'm not an expert. I'm going to leave that up to people that have more expertise in that area. I mean, there are. I assume there are first-degree murderers who are paroled all the time. And again, it depends on what the sentence is. Is the sentence life without parole, or is the sentence life with the possibility of parole? And that's what his sentence was commuted to.
We continue to try to interview him, and maybe if he gets paroled, we can get him on this program, Paul.
I hope so.
And you come on with us, and we'll quiz him. I just, drinking a lot. I've never been to that point, but I mean, do you black out to the point where you don't remember anything, even though you're there with a gun?
Oh, I have no idea.
I don't know.
I don't know if I've ever really been drunk. I don't have any personal experience to base it on. But I mean, let's face it. When we were growing up, we all knew people. We had friends who imbibed too much, and then would have no memory of what they did. So I assume it's eminently possible. I assume these prison psychologists and psychiatrists would know whether that was possible.
Was he working at the hotel at the time?
No. He was attempting to become a jockey.
How do you get in there? How do you get in the kitchen?
I just walked in.
He just walked
in. You
in.
Remember, this is 1968.
Well, look what Ruby did. He just walked in, right? Hey, Jack, hi.
The police knew Ruby. Hey, Jack, how you doing? He was a known quantity. I mean, but who would have thought that, that somebody would shoot an assassin, especially somebody who had organized crime ties, who weren't overly fond of President Kennedy, either, for a variety of reasons.
A
lot of things that don't make sense.
I knew Jimmy Hoffa, and he hated Robert Kennedy.
Oh, yeah.
Hated Robert Kennedy, and so did the mob.
They did.
And so that's entirely possible. Now, in your political opinion, was Robert F. Kennedy going to get the Democratic nomination in '68?
Oh, I didn't see that going to anybody else but him.
I agree.
His campaign had picked up so much.
Would he have beaten Nixon?
Don't know. Because, you have to understand the time and the context, too. The 1960s was an area that was punctuated, by civic unrest. There was the civil rights movement, there was the women's movement, there was certainly the anti-war movement, where a lot of people were kind of challenging the status quo. And that's when that was the sea change. That's when people we were off the post-World War II high, and then we started, there was this feeling of positivism and accomplishment that the U.S. could do anything, and then people began to look internally about, problems that existed here in the U.S., and then tried to, and then there was civic unrest designed to bring about political change. So there was this dichotomy in the U.S. where people, the U.S. is a great country, but we haven't done everything right.
Exactly. Paul, stay with us. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We'll talk more. I want to get your thoughts on JFK, that story, and of course, we'll take calls with you next.
The Coast website is now streamlined for mobile devices. Great news if you're a Coast insider or simply want to enjoy our website on your phone. Visit coasttocoastam.com on your iPhone or Android browser. This is not your first rodeo, or ours. SoCal knows what to do in a drought. So does the Metropolitan Water District of Southern California. And that's conserve even more water. Because water saved today is water we can keep in reserves for more dry tomorrows. We're counting on you to save. And you can count on us to help. For rebates and water-saving tips, visit BeWaterwise.com.
It's a great day at Mike Diamond Plumbing. How can I make you smile?
By getting my hot water back. My shower is spinning icicles.
I could get a Smell Good plumber out there today.
Awesome. How much is the house call?
Are you a residential homeowner?
Yes.
Does your hot water heater have a tank, or is it tankless?
It has a tank.
Then the house call is free during normal business hours.
But this is Saturday.
Not a problem. We're open 7 days a week.
Then by all means, send a Smell Good plumber my way. And thank you for being a real person. I keep getting Bubba's answering machine over at Stinky's Rooter.
We're live 24 hours a day, and your Smell Good plumber will be there shortly.
I'm Mike Diamond, and I guarantee my plumbers will show up on time and smell good.
Or your water heater house call
is free.
Have a Smell Good plumber diagnose your hot water heater for free today. Call 1-800-446-MIKE or check out the water heaters page at MikeDiamond.com. Contractor license number 399170.
I'm
IQ Air wants to give you the cleanest air possible, and the affordable Autumn series does just that.
The Autumn Desk is a revolutionary air purifier that transforms your workspace into personal clean air zones.
Unlike other air filtration systems that may take hours to purify the air, the Autumn Desk begins working immediately.
Put it right next to you while you work and create your own personal bubble of ultra-pure air.
This game-changing technology has been proven to remove 99% of all airborne pollutants.
Visit IQAir.com/US to learn more. Give them a call, 800-500-4AIR, 800-500-4247.
Chock full of stimulating talk.
KFI AM 640. KFI AM 640.
KFI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County. Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Pomona, we have a work zone. This is on the 10 westbound from the 57 to Holt. Caltrans going to be taken away the right lane until 5. Watch for delays throughout that area. Van Nuys, 405 southbound at Victory. Police activity blocking the off-ramp right there. Your drive is bunching up as you approach. Griffith Park, we have another work zone, 134 westbound from Riverside Drive to Bob Hope. Right lane's going to be shut down until 6. You're seeing delays in that stretch. KFI and the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Brian Vance.
If you're self-employed and have been denied by traditional lenders, listen to me. Equinox Home Financing is the answer for the self-employed. You shouldn't be penalized for being an entrepreneur. Instead of using tax returns, they use personal or business bank statements for income. Conventional lenders cannot do this. Equinox Home Financing can get you qualified for the lowest rates available, and they do fast closing loans in less than 30 days. Call 1-855-LOAN-455. 1-855-LOAN-455. EquinoxHomeFinancing.com.
Licensed by the California Department of Real Estate and the California Department of Financial Oversight, NMLS number 1212805.
It's the word mattress stores can't stop shouting every Labor Day holiday. Sale! Sale!
Right, Dad, but what good is getting the lowest price on the wrong mattress?
So this Labor Day, come to Sit and Sleep, where our exclusive bed match technology scientifically matches you for just the right mattress.
Save 50% on select mattresses. And with your good credit, pay 0% financing for 36 months.
So this Labor Day, don't settle for a low price on the wrong mattress.
Trust your sleep to Sit and Sleep.
Find the employees you need to get your business moving. Sign up with iHeartAdBuilder.com and create a custom radio ad to reach job seekers listening to stations just like this one. Get started today at iHeartAdBuilder.com.
Contractor license 1047-781. Dad taught me to do things the right way, not the easy way. You got any brothers and sisters? 8 sisters, 7 of which are older than me. Did they teach you anything? They taught me that people matter a lot. I'm talking to Ken Goodrich, owner of Gettle Air Conditioning and Plumbing. The day I started my business, my first job was for a 90-year-old man whose air conditioner broke down on the hottest day of the year. And he didn't have any money to pay me. That's awkward. He was really embarrassed. So when he asked if I could take an old cello as payment, I told him I always wanted to learn to play the cello. The what? The cello. It's like a giant violin. You talking about the thing standing in the corner of your office? Yeah. I didn't know you could play that. I can't. Then why'd you take it? I took it because he would probably have died if I hadn't fixed his air conditioner. I took it because people matter. I like working here, Kenny. I like working here too, Zach. Get 'em. Goettl. Will keep you cool, but it's hard to spell.
What do you think when you hear an overwhelming number of consumers rave on how these products help them sleep better, calm their mind, and help with discomfort after physical activity? Is this some new pharma product? Nope, it's CBD. And the potential health benefits of CBD are impressive. It's safe, it's natural, and you never need a prescription from America's leader, CBDistillery.com. With over 2 million customers, CB Distillery has taken a quantum leap forward with their full-spectrum CBD. It features all the health benefits of full-spectrum CBD in a convenient pocket or purse formula that you can enjoy anywhere. If better sleep, a calm mind, and less discomfort after physical activity sounds smart to you, then visit CBDistillery.com and enter Tim for 25% off. Again, Tim at CBDistillery.com for 25% off. CBDistillery.com, promo code Tim. CBDistillery.com, promo code Tim. Not available in Iowa, Idaho, or South Dakota.
All right. People don't understand chemical castration. I used to think they take away your man marbles. They just take them away. The man marbles? Yeah.
John and Ken, weekdays 2 to 6 on KFI.
It's just silent surveillance video footage of the vagrants. Oh, this guy, I'm watching a guy urinate. Oh, no, you can see the puddle at his feet.
Almost every segment has an oh no moment.
John and Ken, weekdays 2 to 6.
You'll start shouting at your screen.
On KFI.
If I awoke to find a man dressed like a pirate in my house while holding a small dog, I think that'd be pretty damn cool. Who doesn't like pirates?
I don't know anybody who likes surprise pirates. A surprise pirate standing over you while you wake up from a nap is not a great idea.
Surprise!
Gary and Shannon, weekdays at 10 a.m. on KFI.
I just had a visual of the wall being constructed across the United States and a couple of champion pole vaulters make it into the United States.
Proof positive. We need a wall that's not 30 feet high. We need a wall that's 60 feet high.
And then you have the circus guy being shot out of a cannon.
Bill Handel, mornings from 6 to 10 on KFI.
The tweet coverage is about 50% of the Trump coverage.
He's created it then because of his tweets. He loves the attention, even if it's negative. That's why he's a crazy person.
Cover it. You don't have to have
We've never had a president do this before, so they have to cover
we never had these. We didn't used to have cable.
You're asking for the impossible.
John and Ken, weekdays 2 to 6 on KFI.
Here's what I'm going to suggest. Your grandmother threw her out on the street. She doesn't know what the hell's going on anyway.
And take that room and adopt a dog or a cat that really needs it.
Does that work?
Well, I'm not going to kick Granny out on the street. I'm just going to say adopt Granny a cat.
Bill Handel.
There you are.
Mornings from 6 to 10 on KFI.
What punishment would you exact on an 8 and 5-year-old who disobeyed you?
No more playing in the woods. They'll play in the house on an iPad. That's what they'll do. You want nature? No. You don't get any nature.
There's an app for that.
Gary and Shannon.
Yeah.
Weekdays at 10 a.m. on KFI. KFI, AM 640.
To talk to George Norrie, call the wildcard line at 818-501-4109. The first-time caller line is 818-501-4721. To talk toll-free from east of the Rockies, call 800-825-5033. From west of the Rockies toll-free, call 800-618-8255. To reach George via Skype, use Skype name George97313. Send George a text message anytime at 818-298-6521. From the Gateway to the West, this is Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie.
And our special guest this hour, Paul DeBoli, as we talk about the case of Sirhan Sirhan. We'll talk a little bit about the John F. Kennedy case in a moment. We'll take your calls this hour on Coast to Coast AM. Hurricane Ida, its devastation in Louisiana over the weekend has left millions of people without power. It's a mess. The CC Solar Observer is an AM and FM weather radio. It will keep you informed during and after a powerless event. It does not require electricity. It's just a great radio to have on hand during these kinds of emergencies. Sea Crane Solar Observer is a great radio to have on hand. It can be powered by the hand crank, solar panel, or common AA batteries. It's got a built-in flashlight and the ability to charge a smartphone if you have to. A dependable emergency radio with superior reception and audio, something everyone should have. The CC Solar Observer is a perfect choice. I highly recommend it. I've got one myself. To order the CC Solar Observer, call Sea Crane at 1-800-522-8863. That's 1-800-522-8863. Visit them at seacrane.com. That's C-C-R-A-N-E, seacrane.com. Also available at REI and Weimar locations and Amazon.com.
life insurance? What if you could make one free phone call and learn your best price from nearly a dozen highly rated price-competitive companies? Well, that's exactly what happens when you call SelectQuote Life. For example, George is 40. He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $25 a month. I'm SelectQuote agent Dan Savino. And believe me, if